So on behalf of the Tools for Life Learning Center at Loud and Habitat for Humanity, I'd like to welcome you to today's virtual workshop called Planning Meals, Saving Money at the Grocery Store. My name is Amanda Bollig, and I'm the Program Project Specialist here at Loud and Habitat for Humanity. I oversee our home repair program and the Tools for Life Learning Center. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our goals for today. So by the end of this presentation, you are going to be able to create a 2-week meal plan. You're going to have some tools that you can use to help you create your grocery store game plan so you are ready to go when you step foot into the grocery store. You're also going to learn about the 5 food groups that are on the MyPlate program. You'll also learn about checking unit pricing at the grocery store, and this is a great way to help you cut expenses and save money when you're shopping. And then finally, you're going to know some of the best practices that you can use when you are preparing healthy meals. And so we really hope that you can kind of combine all these tools together and this information, and then you'll be able to create your meal plan, and you'll be able to do so with healthy and affordable meals and foods. So joining us today, we have 2 guests with us, Kirsten Kelley and Maria Flores. These ladies are coming to us from the Virginia Cooperative Extension Program, and they are the experts on helping you buy nutritious foods, all working together for a better diet, and you're going to be able to stick to a budget as well. So these are really just the experts in this field on meal planning and healthy food preparation. So we're really excited to have both of them with us today. If you have questions for either of them during the course of the presentation, you're going to want to open up your chat box and put your questions there, but we're going to answer questions at the end of their presentation. But I would still encourage you to open up that chat box, because there is going to be a part of the presentation where we're going to ask you a question and we're going to want you to respond to that. So have your chat box open and ready to go. And so now I'm going to go ahead and pass it off first to Maria. She's going to get us started with the first slide. All right, Maria, we're ready for you.
All righty. Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction, and thank you guys for having us here. So let's get we'll start off with how to eat healthy on a budget. So we are going to discuss what it means to eat healthy on a budget and the steps to accomplish this. On this slide, you'll find 3 overall steps to save money at the grocery store while being health conscious at the same time.
Right, so our first step, creating a grocery store game plan, planning your weekly meals and making a grocery store list. So the first step is see what you already have. You can look in your freezer, your cabinets, or your refrigerator. Make a note of what you currently have on hand. You can save money by using these items in the upcoming week's meals. Create a list of recipes to try. Think about your schedule. So choose meals you can easily prepare when you don't have a lot of time. And plan to use your leftovers. This can also reduce the number of ingredients you need to buy and save you time preparing another meal. Next slide.
Okay, so shop smart to fill your cart. This step really goes through how to get the most out of your dollar while still choosing healthy foods. Fruit and vegetables. When buying produce, try to buy those that are in season, as they are typically cheaper. Frozen fruits and vegetables are typically cheaper than buying fresh and are just as nutritious as fresh produce. Grains. Remember to make half your grains whole. Throughout the store, check the ingredient list. Make sure you pick items with whole grains as the first ingredients. Rice and pasta are great budget-friendly items to purchase. Protein. Some great low-cost protein options include beans and peas, such as kidney beans, split peas, and lentils. To lower meat costs, buy the family size or value pack and freeze what you don't use. Seafood doesn't have to be expensive. Try buying canned tuna, salmon, or sardines. They store well and are a low cost options. Also, don't forget about eggs. They are a great low cost option that is easy to prepare. Dairy, choose low-fat or fat-free milk. They provide just as much calcium, but fewer calories than whole and 2% milk. Buy the large size of low-fat plain yogurt instead of the individual flavor yogurt. Then you can add your own flavors by mixing in fruits. Save time, money, and calories by skipping the chips and cookie aisle. And next, Kristen is going to talk about some kitchen time savers.
Yes, so our third and final step is preparing healthy meals. As Maria said, kitchen time savers. So first, you're going to want to organize your kitchen. Keep your frequently used items such as cooking oils, sprays, spatulas, cutting boards, and spices within easy reach. Clear the clutter. Before you start cooking, clear off your counters. This can allow for more room for your prep space. Have everything in place. First, you want to grab all your ingredients that are needed for your meal. Chop your vegetables, measure your spices out, and thaw your meats. It will be easier to spot those missing items and avoid skipping steps. Double your recipe. For your next casserole or stew, try doubling the recipe and freezing the extra. You'll save time and make cooking next week's dinner a snack. Clean as you go. Fill up the sink with soapy water and wash the dishes as you cook. It'll make cleanup go much smoother. Cooking for your family. You can prepare foods for a large family without spending a lot of money. First, you want to keep it simple. Healthy and creative meals don't have to be complicated. A simpler menu will usually cost less money and will be easier to prepare in the end. Allow your family to help. Divide jobs among your family members. Remember, kids do love to be in the kitchen. With help, you can get more done and have more time to enjoy with your family. And lastly, stretch recipes by adding ingredients. You can get more servings out of your favorite recipes. Add rice to your soups, your stews, frozen vegetables to your favorite pasta dishes, or beans to burgers to serve more meals.
Okay. We are now moving into the importance of planning meals. On this slide, you'll find a sample MyPlate 1 week sample meal plan sheet. This is meant to assist you in planning a full week of meals. This resource, it will also be available for you in the chat box. So the first step is to see what you already have. Check your pantry and kitchen to see what foods you already have available to use. Then you want to map out your meals. Write out which meals you plan to make for the week and use it as a guide. Be sure to include beverages and snacks too. Think about your schedule. So prepare your meals and size on the weekend when you have the most time. For example, preparing on Sunday for the following week is a great and good way to save time during the week. Make a grocery list. A good start is to list the ingredients for meals you plan to make and cross off items you already have in your home. Buying in bulk for the week can help you save money and make fewer shopping trips. Love your leftovers. So when making meals, plan to make more than one portion so you have leftovers for lunches the next day. Also, you can freeze and save for the future too. So you can also find balance. So planning meals allows you to eat from all five food groups each day. As a reminder, be aware of added sugars, saturated fats, and sodium by reading the nutrition facts label.
I was muted, sorry about that. So next, we will be talking about the Dietary Guidelines for Americans. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans is science-based information that can help guide our eating patterns. The dietary guidelines can also help us have better health by assisting us in the prevention of chronic diseases, such as cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. Additionally, all of our nutritional requirements are met by the following dietary guidelines. Now, to make these guidelines a little bit easier to understand and remember, they have been put into a graphic called
So if we consume each of the food groups listed in MyPlate, then we will be meeting the dietary guidelines recommendations. The 5 food groups are fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. We'll talk about a bit about each of these food groups in the upcoming slides.
So why do we need fruits and vegetables? Fruits and vegetables are low in calories and high in minerals and fiber, which keeps us healthy and prevents disease. A key message of MyPlate is to make half your plates fruits and vegetables. What foods are in the vegetable group? Vegetables of all types, including dark green, red and orange, beans, peas, and lentils, starchy, and other vegetables fall under this category. Also, 100% vegetable juice can also count in this category. When we cook vegetables, they can be eaten in many different ways. They can be eaten raw or cooked, fresh, frozen, canned or dried, dehydrated, and maybe whole, cut up, or mashed. We have lots of ways to eat them. Regardless of the way in which you choose to eat them, it all counts towards meeting your daily vegetable intake recommendations. So again, how many vegetables are needed? Some general recommendations for how much is needed in a day are listed on this slide. You will see that the recommendation on how much you need in a day varies by age and sex.
In addition to vegetables, it is also important to include fruits in our diet. Some ideas on how to add more fruits to your diet include starting off your day with fruit at breakfast. So you can top your cereal with your favorite seasonal fruit. You can add bananas or chop apples to pancakes. You can also mix a spoonful or 2 of raisins into hot oatmeal. You can also add fruit to your diet by keeping ready-to-eat fruits in the refrigerator for a quick snack. For dinner, chop up a combination of seasonal, frozen, or canned fruit to make a quick fruit salsa or top fish or chicken. Add fruit such as orange sections, apple wedges, or grapes to salad. So how much do we need in a day? Similar to vegetables, how much we need in a day will depend on your age and also your sex.
So next, let's talk about grains. Any food made from wheat, rice, oats, cornmeal, barley, or another cereal grain is a grain product. Bread, pasta, breakfast cereals, grits, and tortillas are also examples of grain products. Foods such as popcorn, rice, and oatmeal are also included in the grains group. Grains are divided into 2 subgroups, whole grains and refined grains. Most Americans eat enough total grain foods, but few eat enough whole grains. At least half of your grains that you eat should be whole grains. So why is it important to eat whole grains? Consuming whole grains as a part of a healthy diet may reduce the risk of heart disease. Consuming whole grains that contain fiber as part of an overall healthy diet can support healthy digestion. And lastly, eating whole grains as part of an overall healthy diet may help with weight management.
So next up is protein. So what foods are in the protein food groups? All foods made from seafood, meat, poultry, and eggs, beans, peas, and lentil, and nuts, seeds, and soy products are part of the protein food group. Children ages 2 to 8 need 2 to 4 ounces of protein in a day. Meanwhile, ages 9 and up need 5 to 6 ounces a day. What do you guys think? Do you guys think you're meeting the daily protein recommendations? Let us know in the chat box. And Amanda's going to share your answer with us.
Yeah, so go ahead and enter in the chat box if you think you are meeting your daily protein recommendation, which Maria said for anyone ages 9 and up is 5 to 6 ounces. So do you think you're eating 5 to 6 ounces of protein each day? And I had to guess, I would probably say I do. Someone else just said no, they don't think they do. See if anybody else has an answer. I'm wondering if ladies, if someone who's maybe a vegetarian, if maybe they think this is more difficult and they're not realizing they're getting their protein in other ways, like you mentioned, nuts and seeds and soy products. I know that I've always had the misconception if you're talking about protein, maybe you're only talking about meat. But from what you've just said, it sounds like you can get protein in other ways. So I'm going to say yes, and we've got another vote for no, that you can
No.
not getting enough of their daily recommendation.
Okay, so 1 and 1. So that's
That's another answer. Someone else just said protein is good for our health, but you have to be careful using red meat because some is high in cholesterol.
Yes, so I was actually going to talk about that briefly. So that is exactly right. We really want to limit our red meat consumption because of the high cholesterol. And also I wanted to talk about eggs. So eggs are a great source of protein, but you really have to watch the cholesterol as well. So I would just recommend kind of talking to your physician or even a nutritionist to kind of see what will be the best avenue for you. Because while eating meat is okay and eating eggs is okay, we do want to watch that cholesterol intake.
It's a good point. All right, Maria, I think you have an answer for us about what most Americans do about their protein recommendations.
yeah. So most Americans are meeting the protein recommendations. They're getting most Americans are meeting the recommendation. And just to get an idea of how or why we're getting enough protein. So many of the hamburgers served at restaurants, including those served at fast foods, they are already 4 ounces or more. And when we only need 5 ounces a day, so you can see we're almost there with the one hamburger. And as Kristen mentioned, like we do want to make sure we're including leaner varieties of meat and poultry, and also increase the variety of protein selected and choosing meat less often. So.
Okay, last is dairy. Let's talk about our dairy group. So what does the dairy group include? It includes milk, yogurt, cheese, lactose-free milk, and fortified soy milk and yogurt. It does not include foods made from milk that have little calcium and a high fat content, such as cream cheese, sour cream, cream, and butter. It is important to consume dairy in all stages of our life because of the nutrients it provides. Dairy has many nutrients, including calcium and vitamin D. And these 2 nutrients can help us improve bone health, especially in children and adolescents when bone mass is being built, and also promoting bone health and the prevention of the onset of osteoporosis in adults, most who do not get enough of these nutrients. And remember to choose fat-free or low-fat dairy options for a healthier alternative.
Alrighty, so next we are going to dive into unit pricing. So first we'll be showing a clip of a short clip explaining what unit pricing. So we can start the video.
Here's a tip to help you save money on groceries. Compare unit prices of food to get the best deal. The price tag usually shows 2 numbers, the price you pay and the unit price. Unit prices make comparing the cost of foods in different size packages or from different brands easier by listing them as price per ounce or price per pound. Checking unit prices is a quick way to get the most for your money.
Great, so again, unit pricing is the cost per ounce or other unit of measure. So an example of unit pricing is the price per gallon of gasoline. The price per gallon is the unit price, while the price for the entire tank of gas purchased is the product's total price.
Alrighty, so unit price only compares price, not quality. Using unit price tells us which item is cheaper. Using the unit price can help you compared the price of two different products, whether they are different forms like shredded versus block cheese, different sizes like a half-gallon milk versus a whole gallon milk. Food in similar categories or food groups like a pound of zucchini and a pound of asparagus. Different brands of the same food like name brand or store brand cereal.
So if you look closely on this slide, you can find the unit price right on the shelf tag. It will be listed separately from the retail price, which again is the price that you pay.
If the store does not list the unit price, you can find it yourself. You just need two numbers, the retail price and the number of units the food is sold in, like pounds or ounces. And if you see an example of this right here, you see the retail price of this peanut butter is $1.99 per 15 ounces. The number of ounces is listed on the price tag as well as on the food item. So if you divide the retail price of $1.99 by the number of ounces, which is 15, you'll get 13 cents per ounce as the unit price. In other words, every ounce of peanut butter costs you 13 cents.
So on this slide, you will see additional resources for you and your family. First is the tasty and low-cost recipes. MyPlate Kitchen is an interactive tool to help with healthy meal planning, cooking, and grocery shopping. The site features a searchable database of healthy recipes and options to create a cookbook, shopping list, and share recipes on social media. This one-stop shop features recipe collections from MyPlate and other USDA programs to plan tasty meals that meet health and nutrition goals. Sample 2-week menus. These sample 2-week menus can be used by any person or family wanting to follow a healthy diet at a modest price. The menus are designed to meet nutrition needs on a budget. And lastly, meeting your MyPlate goals on a budget. This toolkit is a great resource for families to use when they want to focus on eating healthy, but do not want to break the bank. So now I will turn it over to my colleague Maria to go over some of her programming options, as well as to give you all a recap of our presentation.
Alrighty. So if you are interested in learning more about each of the food groups and topics, we have a program the last 4 weeks, which can be taken by Zoom or all over the phone. We also have our North Carolina extension lessons, and these are quite convenient because you can take them in as your own time and your own pace. The way in which these work is if you contact me to enroll, I will create a profile for you, which consists of a username and a password. I'll then share the username and password with you, and the login information will give you access to a library of videos, recipes, and also resources. Lastly, okay, if we could go over so graduation. So once you graduate, you'll get a certificate as well as a gift bundle, like the one on the next slide, mailed out to you. So contact me to enroll, or if you're curious and want to learn more about these programs, contact me, or contact information. So my name, Kristen, will be available in the chat box. And let's recap what we learned today. So today we cover healthy eating on a budget. This included creating a grocery store game plan, preparing healthy meals, and shopping smart to fill your cart. We also learned about shopping tips, the best way to shop smart to fill your cart, including tips for every aisle and every food group from MyPlate. We also went through the dietary guidelines for Americans, as well as the five groups of MyPlate, including fruits and vegetables, dairy, grains, and protein. unit pricing. We talked about how to differentiate between unit price of an item in the store versus a retail price. Remember, the unit price is the cost per ounce or other unit of measure. Additional resources. We also provided you with additional resources, including tasty and low-cost recipes, 2-week sample menus, and meeting your MyPlate goals on a budget. Alrighty, so.
All right, thank you, ladies, for that wonderful presentation. So we now have some time for question and answer. So you have any questions for Maria or for Kirsten, go ahead and put them in the chat box now, and we will answer as many as we can get to. But I know there was already a question that was put into the chat box a little earlier. I want to see if you can answer for us. So this person was asking, how can making fewer shopping trips help them save money?
Great. So let's see, how am I making fewer shopping trips? So I know that for me, one good thing that I do is to really look at the sales, and then actually making more shopping trips too helps out as well, because then you can see the sale items. And then also, for example, if you want to buy fresh produce, if you actually go more times as well, that's actually better too. But I know that for me, making fewer shopping trips, we can look at the sale items, and then you could also, it could be dependent upon, I know for me, kind of my pay schedule and whatnot. So that's from my point of view. I would love to hear kind of Maria's comments as well on that.
Yeah. So I know sometimes for in my, like when we go to the grocery store, we're tempted to like we go for one thing, right? And we end up getting a lot more than one. So that's one way it can help you, right? And it's also important that whenever we are making those shopping trips that we take a grocery list with us. That way we stay focused and only grab that one item or few items that we need. So yeah. So
I definitely can agree with that. The more times I go to the grocery store, the more money I want to spend, because, oh, I need this too. And oh, let me grab the Oreos and let me grab the ice cream. And not always the healthy choice, and then you end up also spending more money. But I also can see Kirsten's point as well, that if you spread your shopping out, you can maybe purchase fresh vegetables and fresh fruit when you need them, and you can also use all the sales. So you kind of have to find that balance, whatever works for you and your family as well. All right, we had a question that just came in the chat box. This person is wondering if you have any tips for packing kids' camp lunches or school lunches.
So as far as kind of following the MyPlate guidelines with healthier lunches, or just overall kind of just tips for packing those lunches?
I would say probably both, wanting to get an affordable lunch for their child.
So I know that for me, I used to be a camp counselor. And I used to kind of pack my lunch every day for camp, you could say. So I would say just really try to incorporate the 5 groups of MyPlate. So let's say for lunch, you would like to have a cheese sandwich. So you're incorporating your protein, and then you have your whole grain with your bread, and then also incorporate those fruits and vegetables. So for example, strawberries, pineapples. I actually have here with me today some of my cut up green peppers as a snack. And I know it's also important, especially at camp when kids are running around, to have more items to snack on versus just having one big meal. So I would definitely say have enough items to snack on, and then really try to incorporate all 5 groups of MyPlate.
And then they wanted to know if maybe going to a farmer market might be cheaper than going to the grocery store. Do you guys have any experience with shopping at farmers markets?
Maria, I invite you to answer that one.
Yeah, so when going to farmers market, you can look. I know there's different vendors, so you can look around, take a tour around the market, and compare prices of like same items. Also, another great thing about farmers market is that some farmers market, and I know here in Loudoun, it's the Leesburg and the Cascades, they accept SNAP. So they take the SNAP or the SNAP. So if you so you can use that, and actually when you use it, so let's say you're going to charge $10 to your SNAP card, right? You'll also get what are called tokens. So although you've been charged 10 in the card, you get 10 tokens. So you have 20, those tokens are like dollars. So you have $20 now, and you can get to spend those. It's a double program. So your money doubles. So it can be, that it's not available in the grocery store. So yeah, your money doubles. So it's a great way to save money. And get your most for your money's worth at the markets. Kristen, do you want?
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that program. So it's the Virginia Fresh Mats program, and I put the link in the chat box. So as Maria said, if you go to your local farmers market and buy those fruits or vegetables, you will actually get double that in the from the Virginia Fresh Mats program. So it's really an incentive to buy more fresh fruits and vegetables at your local farmers market. And as Maria said too, we have, and I can actually put that in the chat too once I find it. There is a SNAP locator on our website with farmers markets. So if you do qualify for SNAP, you can actually search your address and see which farmers markets near you accept SNAP.
That is awesome. I did not know that even existed, and farmers markets are a great way to support our local farmers as well. That's a really great program. So that link is in the chat box, and Kirsten's going to find another link for you, put that in the chat box as well. I think we have time for maybe one more question. I was wondering if you guys could speak a little bit more as to why looking at the unit price is so important to help you save money at the grocery store.
Do you want to take that one, Maria? Why?
Yeah. So unit price is important because it tells you how much it is per ounce, or like another unit of measure. So how do I explain this? Although like,
I know that when I've used it before, like if I'm looking at name brand Oreos, I'll look at the unit price, and then I'll look at the store brand Oreos, and I'll be able to compare, okay, well, it's going to cost me this much money per Oreo if I buy the brand. It's going to cost me this much money if I buy the off brand. Okay, the off brand is actually more affordable. I get more Oreos for my money if I look at it that way.
And actually, Amanda, you brought up a good point that in comparison to a generic brand versus like your Kellogg's brand of cereal, they actually mostly, you have to check the ingredients, have the same ingredients, but the generic brand will actually be cheaper and pretty much significantly cheaper. So I always suggest to check the generic brand too, with the pricing and the ingredients as well, versus your Kellogg's brand.
There's another way that you can use unit pricing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if I am buying pasta or something like that, and I see a family size box and I see the regular size box, I want to look at the unit pricing too, because it may be that the family size box is actually less per ounce. Even though I might spend more up front because I'm buying that bigger box, it may actually be less per ounce than if I buy just that regular size. And then I can kind of stretch my money a little further, and I may have some extra pasta and do exactly what you said and double my recipe, some for next week as well.
Yep, and then you can have leftovers, so you're actually saving money in the long run.
Right. All right, well, I think that is all of our questions that we had for today. So we're going to go ahead and wrap everything up. Thank you both for this wonderful presentation. We've learned a lot. There are a lot of resources for all of you in the chat box. If you didn't have a chance to save them all, I'm going to go ahead and send you guys all of those resources in a follow-up email. They're also going to be posted on the recorded version on YouTube, so you'll be able to access those resources, and I highly recommend checking out those recipes because I've already looked at them and I think I'm going to use a few, and they're a great way to make sure that you have met all of your dietary guidelines as well. So So we hope that you all enjoyed this presentation and are going to join us again for another one. We will have another presentation coming up later this month. We're going to be talking about creating your emergency family toolkit with all those necessary financial documents. So you can go ahead to our website, loudandhabitat.org/tools-for-life, and register for that workshop. And you can also go back and watch recorded workshops as well. So thank you all again for joining us, and we hope to see you soon.
Oh, sorry, Amanda. One more thing. I did put our link, Eat Smart, Move More Virginia, into the chat. This has our recipes, our nutrition blog, your different extension offices. So I wanted to put that in there as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You've got tons of resources, everyone.
Yes.
And
tons.
there's
All right.
yeah, there's a great cookbook there too for kids. So check it out.
Thank you all.
Thank you
ladies.
guys. Thank you.